You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Hawaii residents continue to face challenges as lava flows through neighborhoods. The obstacles farm owners now have.
Pick up after yourself.
Plus, quit trashing Siesta Key. How county leaders plan to deal with the littering problem there on the beaches.
And a father and son on a mission, what they plan on tracking down and catching does a danger to the Everglades. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Up to Tuesday now. Good morning, early risers. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Dare I ask, John Scalzi, another sweltering day ahead?
You get the 90s. And you get the 90s. Yes, that's where we're headed again today. It is going to be another hot one. Yesterday we hit 93 degrees, and there's no reason why we won't do that again today. Little rain chance to break that afternoon heat. Even yesterday we got a few scattered showers around, which helped. Today I don't even think we'll get that. We're looking at some drier air having moved in, reducing our rain chances to next to nil. And across our region right now, everything is dry for your morning commute. In fact, if you look across the peninsula, things are pretty dry. At least yesterday we had a lot of showery activity ongoing in the Atlantic. Today we do not. You have to go all the way back to the western Gulf waters to find any showers this morning. This tan color that you see here, that's the dry air aloft, and it has moved in and will provide us with basically just a lot of sunshine today and warm temperatures. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. First, here's our live camera. Today at Fruitville and 301. Very quiet there right now, but as the morning progresses, that's one of the busier spots of the area. Fruitville and 301. Let's check the maps right now. First off, in Manatee County, some early buildup on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee County. Northern half of Sarasota, nothing in the red, just some buildup there on the Bayfront northbound as you pass by the Sailor and Nurse statue and head toward the Ringling Causeway and Fruitville Road. Also Clark Road, some small delays already around the McIntosh area. And then our final map to the south will indicate nothing much to speak of right now. All clear at 5:02 on your Tuesday morning.
Right now, millions are being lost for Hawaii's farmers who live or work along the lava flow after the eruption of the Kilauea volcano. Jenny and Rusty Perry, they own a fruit farm on the Big Island, but have to drive a distance from their home to their orchards. Well, the lava flow now covers their entire driveway, so they now have to use unpaved back roads just to get in and try and harvest some of their fruit crops. In fact, what used to be walking distance for the couple now takes about an hour to get to. They also had to evacuate their home quickly a couple weeks ago, only taking what they could.
So we weren't so much worried about the crop then. We just figured it's over, you know.
And this is your livelihood, right?
Yes.
How long
yes.
have you guys been doing this?
Oh, 40 years.
I would much rather be here, but we're kind of we don't really want to spend the night here anymore because it's can't tell what's going to happen. You can look over there and see the flow going down, and there's nothing that says it has to go in that direction.
Now, the Perrys do go in a few days a week to harvest some of their crops, but as he said, they always leave by dark, afraid that that river of lava could crest the banks. Even if it doesn't, they still have another problem that they have to worry about. The air quality could also wipe out some of their crops.
The Sarasota County School District is still investigating the man chosen to become its first chief of police. According to the county, Paul Grohowski is under attack by a small group of people who are dissatisfied with his previous leadership. Before his application to work in Sarasota County, he was the director of public safety at a community college in Southern California. The group targeting Grohowski believes he made a mistake by combining two police forces there. As a response, the Sarasota County School District is continuing its background check, and school officials say that as long as it's clear, then Grohowski will be the next or the first county school district police chief.
Well, another warning this morning about paying attention to those rip currents in the Gulf as Sarasota police continue their investigation into an apparent drowning off of Lido Beach. Happened around 10 o'clock Sunday night. Police say a man and a woman went swimming after dark when they got caught in a rip current. Now, the woman says that she was swept away towards Big Pass, but she wasn't sure where the man went. Now, it took her about an hour to eventually make it back to shore. Now, the man's body was later found on the beach nearby. Investigators don't suspect any foul play. This morning, police continue to try and figure out who shot and killed a rapper yesterday in South Florida. Jose Onofre, known as XXX Tentacion, was shot and killed in Deerfield Beach late yesterday afternoon. Broward County police say 2 men shot and killed him in an apparent robbery gone wrong. The Florida native was a controversial figure. He'd had many run-ins with the law. He was currently awaiting trial on charges including domestic battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment against his pregnant girlfriend in an incident that went way back to 2016.
We have a 20-year-old male who came to Riva Motorsport and Marine, apparently just to look at the inventory. Just before 4, as the male left the premises, he was approached by 2 armed suspects.
Now, Tentacion recently earned his first #1 album on the all-genre Billboard 200 chart back in March.
Litter and red tide on Siesta Key Beach has beachgoers concerned. The county leaders say they're aware of it. Sarasota County's beach manager says turtle season has delayed the cleanup process because cleanup patrol has to wait to get the go-ahead from the Mote Marine Laboratory before they're allowed to start picking up litter. And that's why there's more trash than usual in the early morning, they say. She adds that we can all do our part to cut down on litter.
Pick up after yourself, and really we want to preserve these parks and beaches for the future, and it takes everyone to do that. So our word is, pack in, pack out, do your part, clean up, help us clean up, and we'll all enjoy the beaches together.
And as for the red tide at Siesta Key Beach, Mote says they have seen a small amount of fish washed up, and the respiratory issues this week were not too bad.
Well, nothing says father-son bonding like hunting for pythons together. And now a father-son team from Sarasota are on a mission to track down as many pythons as possible in the Everglades. Now, yesterday, we brought you the story of Tom and Connor Peltier, who found this massive Burmese python during their 3-day hunt over Father's Day. Pythons, of course, considered an invasive species here in Florida that's wreaked havoc on the wildlife.
Every day of the week, it could take down anything from possums, raccoons, fox, bobcats, gators, and it can do this, every few days, every week.
Well, female pythons can lay anywhere from 30 to 70 eggs a year, so it's been a problem that's tough to contain. So far, though, hunters have removed just over 1,000 pythons from South Florida since the paid hunting program started last year.
Qualifying for candidates to run for offices across the state continues until noon on Friday. The most prominent candidates will qualify in the race for governor. So far, Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam and Congressman Ron DeSantis are squaring off for the Republican nomination. As for the Democratic nomination, here are the names between Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, former Congressperson Gwen Graham, businessmen Jeff Green and Chris King, and former Miami Beach Mayor Philip Levine.
And I think that what people are looking for is folks that come from a different background and then go into government as opposed to making government your entire life.
Florida's primary election is Tuesday, August 28th, with the general election on November the 6th.
Well, if you are obsessed with playing video games, you might officially have a mental health disorder. The World Health Organization has now officially added gaming disorder to its classification of diseases. So what exactly does this mean? Well, doctors can now diagnose and offer treatment to someone who compulsively and obsessively is into gaming. But experts say parents of video game loving kids should not worry just yet. The problem really comes when gaming takes priority over school, socializing with other kids, or work.
The idea of the problem is not just that you're engaging in the behavior, but that you're engaging in the behavior, harm is happening in your world, and yet you're not controlling your behavior. What advice I would have for parents is to begin to become more aware and to take back some control over it.
Now, so far, the American Psychiatric Association has not recognized gaming addiction as a mental illness.
Disney is issuing an unprecedented warning to viewers of the hit movie Incredibles 2. It involves a scene with a villain named Screenslaver that features a series of bright flashing lights. The warning comes after some people posted concerns on social media that moviegoers with a type of epilepsy could be at risk. The Epilepsy Foundation says for about 3% of patients, 3%, in some situations, flashing lights can trigger a seizure. It's called photosensitive epilepsy and is more common in kids and teens. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, buying a house can be stressful. The programs available right now that can get you a home with zero money down.
And coming up a little later, a warning this morning about those porch pirates. What to do to keep your packages from getting swiped, we're going to tell you.
But first, here's a peek at the nation's largest city. Nice shot of the New York City skyline. As far as the Suncoast, what do you have for us today, John?
More warm weather, it looks like. I'm not even putting in a chance of rainfall today, though an isolated shower, I suppose, is possible, but not very likely. We'll look for a daytime high that tops out again warm around 93 degrees and lots of sun. I don't have one box checked on the inclement weather boxes for the drive time forecast. It'll be near 80 on the drive out, and on the way home, maybe a few storms, but they will be well inland. So I think we are looking at pretty quiet conditions. No airport delays at Sarasota hubs, so all looks good if you're traveling by air as well. All in all, pretty nice forecast for today. We'll have that forecast for you in a second.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature right now. We have a dew point value that gives us a relative humidity of 91%. Dew point is 73, which is still very, very warm, despite the fact that we had some drier air move in aloft. We haven't had a lot of that drier air sink down to the surface, so we're still left with very sticky, muggy, high humidity at the ground. We're looking at a pretty starry sky, though, so things are pretty good in that regard. As far as our temperatures go today, again, another very warm afternoon with temperatures continually climbing. By 7 a.m. 78, by 12 noon, we'll hit the 90 mark, and then we'll go with 93, just about exactly where we were yesterday, with a lot of sunshine throughout the day. And that'll give us a high UV index as well. If you're heading to the beach, this is a good day to get burned if you don't wear the sunscreen, because we'll have lots of sunshine in the afternoon. By 7 p.m., about 88 degrees, and I just don't see a whole lot of rainfall in the forecast today. We have across the region our Doppler radar showing dry conditions. If you look to the north, we've got a few offshore showers, but really that's about it. We'll continue with that easterly flow today. And you really have to go all the way across Gulf waters to find showers. And boy, they're getting a lot of them over there. Texas, Louisiana, all seeing some persistent onshore flow and heavy tropical moisture producing all that rain showers. It's really quite a contrast between what we have on our coast and what's going on the other Gulf Coast. You can see lots of explosions of large-scale thunderstorm activity and shower activity over here in the western Gulf. But over our neck of the woods, hardly anything at all to see, and the reason for that is that drier air that is filtered in, indicated there by TAN. That's at mid and upper levels, and that really has kind of reduced the chances for showers to almost nothing today. That'll be with us for several days, and the influence of a high-pressure ridge providing us with an easterly wind should keep our sea breeze pretty close to the coast, so it won't penetrate a great deal of real estate inland, and consequently, temperatures are going to be in the mid-90s, I think, in inland areas today without too much trouble. Across the coastline, I think probably looking at upper 80s to near 90. Right along the coast, we're looking at maybe 92, 3 degrees, and then mid-90s as you move a little further inland. Now, with time, that high-pressure ridge sinks further to the south. As moisture begins to increase across our area, we'll catch a wind shift that'll be more westerly in direction. So that'll take most of the showers that might form under that little extra moisture and push them to the other coast, prolonging our period of not a great deal of rainfall. By the weekend, the moisture will increase, high pressure will return to the north, winds will be light, and that sea breeze will be a little bit more effective in producing showers and thunderstorms, and we can up the rain chance for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it looks like. But until then, kind of a dry period and a very warm, hot period. We'll look for warm, humid conditions, very few showers, but a wetter weekend. Those are your weather highlights. So forecast for boaters today doesn't look too bad at all. West wind coming in at about 10 knots, pretty significant wind at about 10 knots, and its direction pretty consistent out of the west. This afternoon, we'll see very little in the way of any kind of rainfall out there in Gulf waters, maybe a passing shower. That would be about it. 93 today, tomorrow 92. We'll put in a slight chance of showers as moisture begins to return. But remember, those showers push toward the other coast, so during maximum heating of the day, most coastal regions will not get any rain. Summer begins on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we start to up the rain chances as the winds become a little bit lighter. And then we'll keep that rain chance a little bit higher as we head into Sunday and Monday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic out there. Starting off in Manatee County, those roads are actually looking pretty decent. Just one little spot as you're coming from Palmetto or Ellington, headed over the bridge into Bradenton. A little slowdown right there. Not too much to see, though. In Sarasota County, those roads also aren't looking too bad just yet. We've got some delays that are going right along the bay there on 41, but other than that, it's all looking pretty good out there so far. A little farther in the area, if you're headed toward Port Charlotte, 75 and 41, both running south. Pretty smooth this morning, so shouldn't be a bad commute at 518.
For many first-time homeowners, finding the cash for the down payment's the hardest part. But experts say there are several programs available right now to get you into a house with zero or very low out-of-pocket costs. Reporter Mary Maloney has a closer look at the free cash up for grabs in today's Consumer Watch.
Buying a home can seem out of reach, but the days of putting down at least 20% of the price of a home are over.
If you're thinking you still do, you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Real estate experts say there are many options to put down much less or even nothing at all. Here are some options to consider. Try a FHA loan through the Federal Housing Administration. It requires less money down and lighter credit history requirements.
These loans apply all over the country. So my advice to you would be to talk to a real estate agent and ask them if they're aware of any of these low or no down payment programs.
If you're a veteran, take advantage of VA loans, which require no money down.
If you've ever been in the military and you're renting, I highly suggest you contact a real estate agent or a lender or both and find out what your situation is, what you can buy a house for in your area.
Experts also recommend checking down payment assistance options available statewide, like housing grants.
This client in particular that I worked with, she bought a house for $300,000 and she got 5% back, which means she got a grant of money she did not have to pay back for $15,000.
There are also conventional low down payments insured by the federal government.
So I really want to encourage you, if you would like to own a home, to go find out what it would take to get there and put a plan in place to put yourself in a position where you can.
I'm Mary Maloney.
All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast. Uber is experimenting with a feature that could give you a cheaper ride, but yeah, there's a catch. We're going to tell you what it is.
I'm intrigued. Next half hour, the controversy over families being separated at the border while parents try to enter the U.S. illegally. Here's a shot, speaking of immigration, at Ellis Island. A little segue for you there. Statue of Liberty at 5:20 a.m.
It is beautiful. What a gorgeous shot that is. You are watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making the connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Welcome back. It is 5:23, and take a look at this. This is the world's longest wooden dragon boat being rowed by More than 200 women, that's right. They even wore traditional costumes and ornaments while controlling the 255-foot-long dragon boat. It was all part of a celebration of the Dragon Boat Festival. It's a big holiday in China. It was even certified as the world's longest of its kind by the Guinness Book of World Records back in 2016.
Need you to go this way more. This
right,
way, everybody.
right. All these guys, get together, ladies, get together.
Wow.
Well, Uber is experimenting with a new feature that may give you a cheaper ride, but wait. There is a catch.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, waiting for better Uber fares.
The company's testing a feature for its app that allows you to wait a little longer for your ride and get a reduced fare. The app tells you how much you'd save by waiting. So far, the feature is only available to Uber employees on the West Coast. The World Health Organization now says compulsive video game playing qualifies as a mental health condition.
What doctors are officially calling gaming disorder will be in the new edition of the International Classification of Diseases. And the future of green aviation.
The 100% electric-powered two-seater was just test-flown in Norway. Aviation officials say passenger flights in electric planes could start in just 7 years. Boeing and Airbus are also developing electric planes.
7 years?
It's not that far away.
Okay, not bad. The future is now, then.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Geico.
So, what's new?
We just switched to Geico and got more.
More.
They've been saving folks money for over 75 years.
A company you can trust.
Geico even helped us with homeowners insurance.
More sounds great.
Gotta love more! Right, honey?
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially.
Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Right now, it is a hot-button issue. Former First Ladies, politicians, celebrities all speaking out today about the children being separated from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border.
A local restaurant closing its doors for a few months. The renovations are expected.
Plus, a warning this morning for parents about pool ladders, even the ones that are supposed to be child-proof. We have those stories plus your first alert forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning to you. It is 5:29 on this Tuesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is here. And John, I played tennis till 7 o'clock last night. At 7:01, it began pouring rain.
Well, you are, first of all, a brave man to go out there in that heat and play tennis. But my hat's off to you. We're looking at, again today, some very warm temperatures. And I don't think there'll be any of those cooling rains to come around and help, relieve some of the heat anyway. We're looking at quiet conditions across the area on radar right now and some drier air having moved in. All the way across into Texas and Louisiana, there's plentiful amounts of rainfall. But oddly enough, none of that moisture will ever make its way into our neck of the woods. We have this dry mass, indicated here by tan, that has moved in from the Atlantic aloft, not at the surface. The surface is still plenty humid, has moved in and will actually limit all of our rain chances today. Temperatures across the region generally warm near the coast in the upper 70s. Inland a little bit cooler, coming in the lower 70s. We'll watch satellite view showing not much in the way of cloud cover across the region. And we'll have high UV indexes today because of it. Lots of sunshine around. Daytime highs topping out around 93 with virtually no chance of rainfall today. Maybe an isolated shower or sprinkle, perhaps at best. But most of us will not see any rain probably for the next 4 or 5 days. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, it's a deal. Talk to you soon, John. 5:31 right now. Here's a peek from our live camera. Today stationed at Fruitville Road and 301. Busy spot there. And right now, just clearing out. We'll check on that every 15 minutes here on Good Morning Suncoast. Go to the maps now. We'll see in Manatee County nothing much to report so far. Pretty clear. Checking farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. We'll see just some minor delays there on Clark Road in both directions. Nothing major so far. And then to the south, we'll find out that there is nothing much. Little blip there at 41 northbound as you come out of Charlotte County and head into the Northport area. We start this half hour with the controversy over the immigration policy at the border. Parents who try to enter the U.S. illegally are being detained and separated from their children. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has both sides.
Opposition to President Trump's zero-tolerance policy is growing. Republican Senator John McCain is weighing in, making it clear family separation is a Trump administration policy and not the way to go. In a tweet, McCain says the administration has the power to rescind this policy. It should do so now. But in an interview on Fox News overnight, Attorney General Jeff Sessions says the administration is doing the right thing. Sessions says the policy is being used as a deterrent.
Yes, hopefully people will get the message and come through the border at the port of entry and not break across the border unlawfully.
Even if it means traumatizing thousands more children. In this recording, first obtained by the website ProPublica, you can hear children and their desperate sobs calling for their parents. The president says he's disturbed by the situation, but stands by his policy.
The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility. Won't be.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen insists the children are being well cared for, but cannot answer why it is we only see images of boys in the pictures released, no girls.
Why is the government only releasing images of the boys who are being held? Where are the girls? Where are the young toddlers?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with those particular images.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz is introducing emergency legislation that would aim to keep immigrant families together after crossing the border. If Trump's policy is still in place, it's unclear how much of an impact, if any, Cruz's legislation will have. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Well, family and friends will say their farewells to designer Kate Spade Thursday in her hometown of Kansas City, Missouri. Spade, of course, took her own life June 5th in her Manhattan apartment. A mass will be held at the church there that she used to go to as a child. Known as Katie to her family and friends, the designer and handbag icon is described in her obituary as kind beyond words. In lieu of flowers, her family is actually asking for donations to be made to a no-kill animal shelter in Kansas City.
A new law in the city of Venice outlining when and where cooking fires are acceptable in public parks is moving forward now in City Council. The change comes after a recent beach fire at a service club park back in March. Nearly 70 feet of walkway was destroyed due to an illegal fire. The law says fires are banned in all parks, beaches, and recreational areas, except for cooking fires using the city-approved grills in designated picnic areas between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. So City Council will vote on this issue next week. A popular Southside Village restaurant in Sarasota will be closed for a few months anyway. Libby's Cafe and Bar will close from now until November for major remodeling. The restaurant owners plan to close down in 2 weeks and reconfigure the layout. The owners say they also plan to reduce the size of the restaurant by walling off and leasing out a section along the north wall to a tenant, perhaps a yoga studio. In the meantime, some neighboring businesses are disappointed to lose some of the businesses that Libby's helps generate. The manager of the next-door consignment shop says Libby's causes a lot of foot traffic for them.
It does, really, especially for us here at Fifi's. Whenever ladies come for brunch or they meet up with their girlfriends during the day, they kind of come here and shop afterwards. It's kind of like a let's get brunch and go shopping, girls' day kind of thing.
Libby's plans to reopen for its 10th anniversary in November.
Well, the good news, gas prices are back down again this week, but the bad news won't last very long. 44 states saw drops in gas prices this week compared to last week. Now, here in Florida, our prices dropped about 5 cents on average, but according to AAA, gasoline demand has again spiked, which means they're going to go up again sometime soon. Another factor that's going to be happening in the future when OPEC meets and decides just how much they'll be producing for the year. That meeting is coming up at the end of the month.
Look at this, a porch pirate in Missouri caught on camera. A couple posted this video over the weekend of a man coming up to the house and taking away a package meant for them. And although this is more common during the holidays, police say it's always good to be diligent.
It reminds us that we have to be careful every day of the week. Can't take it for granted that it's 150 degrees outside. Thieves are not going to be out. Yes, there are. Where there's a will, there's a way. They will steal what they want. We are smarter than they are, and we can take measures to keep them from stealing our packages.
Well, he suggests getting packages delivered to your office or even to a neighbor or friend who would be home at the time. He says surveillance video like this also helps identify and catch criminals who police say will probably steal again in the future as well.
Well, the city of Northport is encouraging residents to plan ahead when it comes to parking for their 4th of July celebration and fireworks. A traffic plan has been posted, including the parking lots, the road closures, and traffic flow for the signature Northport Freedom Festival. It starts at 6 o'clock on the 4th at Northport High School. Now, due to the thousands of people that do attend the event, the parking plan includes details on how many lots will empty following the show, where all that traffic flow will be, a map of the lawn, seating, everything you need to know about that festival. You can also find it on our website, mysuncoast.com.
It happened again, this time a hammerhead shark right off the coast of Anna Maria Island. According to the viewer who sent this to us, they were fishing near Bean Point, less than a mile from Anna Maria, when she came across a 10-foot shark swimming in the Gulf. As they got closer, they saw the shark doing its own fishing, chasing and catching a tarpon. There have been several shark sightings and videos in the past couple weeks off Anna Maria Island. Still ahead, above and beyond. That's what some contestants went during a sand sculpting competition. We'll show you the unique structures they were able to come up with.
Oh, I could totally make those, Ray.
I see that.
That would work. Here's a live look this morning at Atlanta, Georgia. I don't see Ray's Ferris wheel in this shot. I'm very sorry. Maybe we'll have it for you next hour.
What was it, 8 a.m.?
All right. Okay. We'll go with that. That sounds good. All right, but back here on the Suncoast, we got another hot day with a high UV rating, right, John Scalzi?
Indeed, hot and humid. If you're heading to the beach, be advised there's still red tide in the water, though. The current red tide status from Moat Marine, according to them, their spotters, indicating less of the irritants in the air than in the previous report. So that's good news. Nokomis and Venice beaches still showing low amounts of the irritant in the air. The other beaches are flying green flags. So the beach forecast looks like this. Expect that west wind to build this afternoon. Temperature about 88 degrees and a UV index in the extreme, so slather on that SPF 50 or better. I have a complete forecast for you in just a moment.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees, our current air temperature. We have a dew point of 73, 91% relative humidity currently, and fairly clear skies out there. It's going to be a very sunny day today with little rain around. We'll look for temperatures to soar up to about 93 degrees again today for a daytime high. About 5 degrees above the normal for this time of year, which that doesn't seem like a lot perhaps to some folks, 5 degrees, but for a peninsula, 5 degrees is a significant departure from average, and that's where we'll be probably today and maybe tomorrow as well. The temperature as we head into the evening periods will drop into the 80s, but still I think most of us will be rain-free across the region. Titan radar quiet right now. Even in Gulf waters, we're not seeing much. You got to go all the way out into the far Gulf before you start to see some showers, and then way to the western side of the Gulf before you start to see numerous showers and thunderstorms ongoing. That's all part of that area of tropical moisture and low pressure that was down by Nicaragua 2 weeks ago when we first started watching it, and some of the computer models hinted at development. And we've been tracking it ever since. And now it's probably going to produce some flooding rains across parts of the Texas coastline over the next couple of days. The showers and thunderstorms really don't have any chance of organizing into anything or or producing any kind of tropical weather, but they will produce some heavy rainfall there. While we, on the other hand, have gotten some drier air that has moved in aloft. That's what that tan color is on the water vapor imagery. It has replaced the moisture indicated here by turquoise colors that continues to erode back into Gulf waters, while we're left with some very tranquil conditions for several days in a row. The Futurecast shows, well, maybe we get an isolated shower or two out in the Gulf, but that really is about it through the noontime hour. Then maybe an isolated shower in well inland areas. They stay there. They kind of don't last long. They fall apart as we head into the evening, and along the coastline we stay dry right straight through the period with mostly sunny skies. I think that's going to be the name of the game today. Big ridge of high pressure extends from the deep south back out into the Atlantic. Underneath that high, we get that that easterly wind flow, and that continues to be with us throughout the day today, keeping the sea breeze fairly close to the coastline. Now, with time, we'll watch that high sink south and winds shift to a more westerly direction. That'll occur probably Wednesday into Thursday. At that point, moisture will have started to return to the peninsula, but because of that westerly flow, what we'll notice is that kind of pattern where we get a morning shower near the coast maybe, but then by the time of daytime maximum heating, those showers are pushed toward the other coast, and we stay dry during that warm period when those cooling rains are so nice to have. So we'll in for a kind of a prolonged period of dry and very few showers, warm, humid conditions. Maybe by the weekend we start to see some slightly better rainfall chances as that high begins to expand northward once again. Our winds become lighter and less unidirectional, and we start to get a little bit better thunderstorm action with the sea breezes that develop. 10-knot winds today out of the west this afternoon, becoming a little more northwesterly with time, and the forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high that tops out around 93 today, and over the next couple of days we'll factor in small chances of showers. Summer comes our way on Thursday, don't forget that, 6 in the morning, or 6:07 actually, and then over the course of the next couple of days thereafter, the moisture begins to increase, and so too do the chances for rain showers. Monday looks like we could be back to kind of a standard afternoon for a typical summer day. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at the traffic out there this morning. Check out the maps first. First off, in Manatee County, those roads aren't looking too bad out there so far. We're seeing a little bit of a delay there right on 301, as you can see on the map, right before State Road 70. That's in Manatee County. And then if you're heading into Sarasota County, those roads are actually still running pretty smooth at this time. Bee Ridge has a little bit of a delay, so does Clark as you come off of 75. But other than that, it's a pretty good morning in terms of traffic. If you're headed farther south toward Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, in that area, both 75 and 40 run are running pretty smooth this morning. That is your first alert traffic. Now let's take a live look outside to one of our normal hot spots, Fruitville and 31, and it is a hot spot. Traffic is already up and moving on 301 right there. So there's a live look outside.
The son of former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin will be back in court today in Alaska. Track Palin was arrested in December after his mother called police to report a domestic incident between her son and her husband. The 29-year-old arrived at the courthouse yesterday for a change of plea hearing, but changed his mind as well and ran in the bathroom to hide from cameras. He will likely be sentenced to therapy, not punishment. When asked by the judge what he's learned so far, he said, patience.
Well, it is no secret that backyard pools can be dangerous for your kids, especially when ladders are left out. But what about those child-proof ladders, or ones that have even been locked up? Reporter Eric Halperin has a story and a warning out for parents this morning.
Here's the video making waves around the internet. A 2-year-old Attleboro boy climbs the outside of a locked pool ladder, able to almost get all the way to the top before his mom takes him down. Young Cody's parents thought the ladder was safe, but now...
As far as I'm concerned, no ladder is safe.
The ladder was locked, covering the steps, but Cody, who is as energetic as they come, was able to grab onto the slits in the door and pull himself up. His dad, Keith, says he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
My heart dropped.
Cody had climbed the closed ladder once before. When he tried a second time, his parents made this recording to send a message.
You could do all these things, safety precautions, but your eyes, you have to keep them on them at all times.
That you could put all the possible stops around your yard, but when it comes down to it, nothing is as good as keeping your eyes on your child.
You think he's safe, and it's not the case. It's not safe.
The world's biggest advertiser, Procter & Gamble, is pushing for gender equality in the ad business. The consumer giant makes products like Tide and Bounty and Old Spice, Pampers and Gillette. Now P&G set a goal this week to have women direct at least half of its commercials by the year 2023. As of right now, women currently direct only about 10% of their commercials. The company is teaming up with Queen Latifah and Katie Couric as part of the mission.
Quite a combination there.
Yeah.
TV's Uncle Jesse, actor John Stamos, shared his photo with fans on Twitter as he celebrated his first Father's Day on Sunday. Yes?
I feel like there was a joke in there about Uncle Jesse is now a dad.
There it is.
Okay.
Insert your own laugh track at home. His post said, quote, "My first Father's Day means that from this day forward, I will start to look my age and
fantastic.
Older." He's 55. It means that for the rest of my life, I'll always be known as someone's dad, and that's all I ever wanted. Happy Father's Day, he wrote. He became a first-time dad in April when he and his wife, Caitlin, welcomed their now 2-month-old son, Billy.
He's aged well. Well, they're like sand sculptures, just on steroids. Check this out. The sculptures, really works of art, are part of an international competition called the Hampton Beach Master and Sculpting Classic. These massive works of art were created by 10 sculptors, 5 from the U.S. and another 5 from Canada. After carefully reviewing all of this work, judges crowned Abe Waterman as the winner.
Bit of a surprise. I mean, there's 10 fabulous sculptures out there. I mean, almost at this level of competition, almost anyone can take it.
It's actually, I think, one of the best years that we've had since I've been doing this in 18 years. All the sculptors are happy. We had the weather with us, which was a plus.
Now, Sunday marked the competition's 18th year.
Looks like Siesta Key to me there. Happening today, it might be the off-season, but the Tampa Bay Lightning front office staff are busy in the community, this time on the Suncoast. They'll be passing out 40 hockey sticks and other equipment to kids at the Manatee YMCA's free Camp Dash program. The event happens at 11 o'clock this morning. 5:51 right now, and this is a peek outside our studio of the Rosemary District.
It's rising 93 of a high today. Hot and humid, and the UV is 11. Extreme. That means lots and lots of sunscreen. Just a reminder if you're headed out and about this afternoon.
The day's top news headlines after this. Stay with us.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember,
My passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
It is 5:54, and here are some of the top stories that we've been following for you today.
The city of Sarasota reportedly rejected a $50 million payment plan in a breach of contract case. The Herald Tribune reports that the city turned down an offer by the private developer who won a suit against the city for not using them to build the Palm Avenue garage 10 years ago. No word yet what the city now plans to do.
And another day, another hammerhead shark spotted off the coast of Anna Maria Island. This one was spotted by a viewer near Bean Point. Estimates put this baby at about 10 feet while it was trying to get some lunch of a tarpon.
And the state has granted a permit to dredge the pass between Lido and Siesta Key. According to the Observer, this clears the way for a major beach renourishment project on Lido Key.
And coming up in the next hour, with the temps so hot every day, you may be tempted to cool off with a sugary drink, but it's not the best for your body right now. We're going to tell you why. Plus, flooding in the Midwest, water in some areas as high as 60 feet. We'll bring you those stories, too.
Not much water in our forecast so far, right, John
Only
Scalzi?
humidity.
No, we're looking at pretty dry conditions across the region, probably for the rest of the work week until we can get some beneficial winds to help trigger off some of the storms. Moisture is also lacking today, so it'll be a hot and humid afternoon. Mostly dry skies for the work week, but then as we head into the weekend, perhaps we'll see a few more storms around. We'll be talking about that in detail in just a few.
All right, sounds good. Well, you know how we love good animal stories around here,
Yes.
particularly me? Python versus gator in the 6 o'clock hour.
Who wins that one?
You're going to have to watch to find
okay.
out.
I'll wait
Right
here.
here. Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.